Back then, Red Bull wasn't quite the all-out championship contender it is now. Okay, it wasn't quite a decade ago. Everything was in place. Adrian Newey at the drawing board, the overly ambitious Christian Horner assuming the job of team principal, and a youthful, eager pit crew tending to a pair of drivers where the flames were still burning. All those winning components eventually came together with Sebastian Vettel and the RB5 to realize their full potential. It had taken time for Newey to rid the design team of negative habits left over from Red Bull Racing's former incarnation as Jaguar, with Horner's steadfast support. Because of the chance to collaborate with his old friend Bobby Rahal, Newey had considered quitting McLaren and joining Jaguar in 2001. But he changed his mind as the extent of the business's internal politics became clear. Ferrari has undoubtedly had the fastest car for the majority of the season, but due to strategy mistakes and a poor finishing percentage, it's trailing Red Bull in the championship standings. Charles Leclerc's engine issues prevented him from winning the Spanish and Azerbaijani Grand Prix, and the Maranello team experienced a stressful finish to the most recent Austrian GP. At the Red Bull ring, Carlos Sainz appeared to be headed for a 1-2 finish when his stunning engine failure forced him out and his burning Ferrari brought out a virtual safety car. Leclerc then encountered a perilous sprint to the finish line as he fought a throttle issue that was leaving his car underpowered in times. Ferrari team principal Mattia Binotto revealed that he had to shut off and turn away from the TV displays for the final 3 laps, which perfectly encapsulated the anxiety that Ferrari experienced on the pit wall. The engine failure for Sainz has shown how Ferrari is still far from solving the engine problems that have dogged it this season. Even though Leclerc's car held on for him to win a victory that keeps his title aspirations alive. Although Ferrari is still concerned about technical issues, Red Bull asserts that it cannot just wait for its primary opponent to experience issues. When asked if Red Bull found solace in their rival's glaring flaw, Horner responded, "Not much. We don't pay them a lot of attention. We have no control or influence over that in any manner. I believe that we need to put our attention on ourselves and maximize our individual capabilities." They might have easily placed first and second because they had a very good car in Austria. Although Max Verstappen continues to comfortably dominate the championship standings, sitting 38 points ahead of Charles Leclerc and 57 points ahead of teammate Sergio Perez. Horner believes that any of them might win. "Absolutely," he responded. "We have only reached halfway through the championship, and things are still very unpredictable. There is still a great distance to travel. Austria, in a way, served as damage control, as we were able to secure the pole position, win the sprint, and finish in second place." Max has only dropped 5 points to Charles in the driver's title, while the Constructors' Championship has certainly seen relatively little harm. This season, Red Bull teams have encountered a number of intriguing issues, but DRS is undoubtedly the most unexpected. Since 2011, the drag reduction technology has been used in Formula 1, although this year both Red Bull and AlphaTauri's systems have failed. This shouldn't come as much a surprise to you, given how straightforward the system is. Max Verstappen's DRS malfunctioned in Barcelona and either wouldn't open or opened only to immediately clamp shut. Max was obviously enraged with his staff, and the TV coverage of his radio outbursts was immensely fun to watch. Max spent a considerable amount of time in that race trailing George Russell, since, without DRS, he was unable to pass the latter. When the system eventually functioned, Max's car was able to travel 19 km/h faster, enabling him to pass Russell. In the end, it wasn't a huge loss for the Red Bull driver, because Max was able to win the race because Charles Leclerc's Ferrari broke down. The drag reduction system, DRS, has been a part of Formula 1 since 2011, but Red Bull and AlphaTauri have both experienced failures this season. Given how straightforward the system is, this should come as a huge surprise to you. So what's going on here in Barcelona? Red Bull teams have had some interesting issues this season, but DRS has to be the most surprising one. The DRS for Max Verstappen broke and either wouldn't open or was opening before snapping shut immediately. Max was obviously upset with his crew, and his shouts over the team radio were hilarious to see on the television footage. When the system eventually started working, Max was unable to pass George Russell, and as a result, he was forced to remain in second place for a considerable amount of the race. Max's car was able to travel 19 km/h faster than Russell's, enabling him to pass him in the end. Charles claims that because the Ferrari broke down and Max was able to win the race, this incident for the Red Bull driver wasn't too significant. Yuki Tsunoda The driver for the Red Bull sister team AlphaTauri also experienced a DRS issue in Baku. The young Japanese driver was comfortably running in 10th place when it happened, but he ended up finishing 13th after having to get the wing fixed. The rear wing of his AT-03 suffered damage down the middle, which forced the race officials to issue him a black and yellow flag and ordered him to return to the pits with mechanical problems or lose bodywork. The team came up with a solution of ask the driver to return the pits with mechanical problems or lose bodywork. In response, AlphaTauri brought Tsunoda into the pits and used duct tape to mend the back wing of his vehicle. Commentators and users of social media criticized the crew for this, claiming that they couldn't repair the car using duct tape. Addressing Sky Sports F1 during that time that Yuki's wing was being fixed, Karine Chan-Tuk provided some details about what was occurring in the pit lane. I tell you what, Joe Bauer from the FIA has come stomping down the pit lane, but he arrived about 5 seconds too late, and the car had already skidded off. This may not be something the FIA are particularly happy with, according to the Chandos. Chandos said that even though Max Verstappen's DRS didn't break in Baku, his team asked him not to use it in the final laps after seeing what happened to Yuki's rear. The pit wall team advised him to utilize it out of caution in case he experienced the same malfunction. Although the two cars' actual failures were different, their likely causes were similar. On Max's car, the back wing was still in place, but the DRS actuator appeared to be malfunctioning. Yuki's car's actual wing split in two, causing one side to truly flap in the wind while being just as harmful to the vehicle's performance. This small hydraulic component is attached to the middle of the DRS flap on the middle of the wing when DRS activate the actuator. Yuki was caught into the pits by race control because his fault, which was actually a risk to the other drivers around him, was Max's. If the component had come loose, particularly on the Baku circuit's incredibly fast start-finish straight, it could have seriously injured another driver. However, how can a DRS flap splitting in half be caused by the same issue that prevents the hydraulic actuator from working well? Both issues were brought on by the team's weight loss program. You could see on Max and Checo's cars that Red Bull had actually strengthened their DRS flaps over the weekend as a result of taking too much weight off of them and weakening that part of their wing. This is precisely where Yuki Tsunoda's wing failed, as a result of AlphaTauri having taken too much material away, weakening the structure and leaving it susceptible to damage from the significant aerodynamic forces that are applied to a F1 car's rear wing. Red Bull team manager Christian Horner said in Barcelona that an issue resulted from their overly serious approach to their weight loss program. Of course, we're chasing every ounce of performance, and weight is a factor as well, he said. It's a peculiar part of the car to fail for both teams, but in this new era of Formula 1 racing, every little ground matters, and the teams will do anything to shave weight for that extra % of performance. Are you as surprised as we are at the Red Bull team? We've been overly ambitious there, but I think we need to understand exactly what the issue is. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the future video.